My advice to everybody would be I wouldn't use a blue mailbox right now.
2 postal workers robbed at gunpoint today, while police are saying Postal Service threat is becoming a trend in the Miami Valley. Then,
the Ohio unemployment rate is above the national average.
There are lots of jobs out there. The struggle is getting people to actually want to show up to work.
How agencies across the Miami Valley are trying to bridge the gap between employers and jobs in the area. Plus,
the Dayton Police Department losing dozens of officers this year.
It's a phenomenon that's been affecting us for a few years, and I think the last few years definitely has been exaggerated.
What officials are doing to keep retention up for the years to come.
I'm tracking a fall chill. I'll let you know how cold we'll get coming up.
Live on Fox 45, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
First tonight, police say 2 postal workers were robbed at gunpoint today in Montgomery County. It happened within minutes of each other. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Adam Arrow.
And I'm Megan O'Rourke. Now, the first one happened around 12:40 in Dayton. The second in Trotwood around 1 o'clock. Trotwood police are now asking for the community's help in finding the suspect or suspects. Allison Walker spoke exclusively with police about the investigation. She is live for us tonight. Allison.
Yes, well, Meg and Adam, Dayton police tell me that the first incident occurred right here at 2967 Melbourne Avenue, and then in Trotwood, the second. Trotwood police say that the same suspect could be behind both robberies, and they tell me that he drove away from the scene in a black Nissan sedan.
Our crews were dispatched to 436 Malden Avenue in the city of Trotwood for a robbery in progress to a postal carrier. Upon crews' arrival, they were informed that a suspect brandished a firearm and demanded the arrow key, which is the blue mailbox key that the postal workers carry.
Trotwood Police Chief Eric Wilson described the suspect as a black male wearing a green hoodie and blue jeans. Wilson says he fled the area in a black Nissan sedan.
The vehicle was last seen heading towards Hoover Avenue on Whitmore, and that's pretty much what we have right now on this investigation. We'll be contacting the United States Postal Inspection Services because interference with mail is actually a federal offense.
Yet Trotwood police say they'll still be coordinating with DPD. As the holidays near, Wilson projects these copycat postal robberies could occur more often, as he says it's now a phenomenon across the nation.
Doing what they call washing the checks, where they'll take someone's check, then they'll duplicate it and change the name on there and cash it somewhere. So my advice to everybody would be I wouldn't use a blue mailbox right now.
The chief also shared advice on what to do if confronted.
If you're confronted with an armed suspect demanding something from you, give it to him. Items can be replaced, lives can't.
And both Dayton and Trotwood's investigations will be carried out by the United States Postal Service. Meanwhile, Trotwood police are asking anyone with any information on the suspect to call them immediately. That number is 937-837-7777. Reporting live here in Dayton, Allison Walker, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Allison, thanks so much. New tonight, police responding to an overturned semi on the ramp of 35 and 75 South. It happened just after 6 tonight. Officials tell us at least 2 people were hurt in that crash. We're still working to learn what caused the accident. As soon as we get any new updates, we'll be sure to let you know both here on air and online at Dayton247now.com.
3 men are facing charges tonight after an 18-year-old was shot earlier this month in Xenia Township. Aaron Davis is being held in the Greene County Jail on attempted aggravated murder charges. Jamal Morgan is also in jail tonight while he faces conspiracy to commit murder charges. The woman who was shot was taken to the hospital with injuries that were told not considered to be life-threatening. Ladashian Brown was arrested last week on felonious assault charges in relation to that shooting.
A Brookville man could spend the rest of his life behind bars after killing his mother in 2020. 30-year-old Taylor Walter was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison after being convicted on murder and assault charges. Now, 2 years ago, prosecutors say Taylor stabbed his mom around 30 times with a kitchen knife. He was also sentenced to 4 years in prison for burglary and drug and weapons charges back in 2019. Taylor will not be eligible for parole until he served at least 19 years.
The Warren County prosecutor is declining to present the deadly Clear Creek officer-involved shooting to a grand jury. Police say Mark Evers was ramming his wife's car with an ATV when police attempted to get him out and arrest him. Evers pulled out a gun and shot Officer Eric Ney in the face. A second officer, Nicole Cordero, returned fire and Evers was killed. Prosecutors say that they found Cordero's use of deadly force to be reasonable under the circumstances. They add that Evers also shot himself, so they were unable to determine a precise manner of death. Now, Officer Ney was moved to a rehab facility earlier this week. He remained in and out of the hospital following that shooting. The latest surgery he had was to patch a hole in his skull that was letting air get into his brain. His sister told us after the surgery he was able to sit up and was in great spirits.
A live look now over downtown Troy. It is the first day of fall, and it's sure starting to feel like it. Natalie, Watson's weather patio right now tracking temperatures. Natalie, is this cooler air going to stick around?
Yeah, we actually have a very fall-like forecast ahead, and I will say it's feeling like fall out there right now. I was out at Thursday Night Lights earlier into the evening. I needed a jacket then, and definitely need one out here right now, too. Temperatures are in the 50s, 51 in Dayton. We have 50 in Troy, 46 in Sydney, so already dropping into the 40s for our northern counties, 45 in Bellefontaine right now. Compared to this time yesterday, 26 degrees colder in Dayton, 31 degrees colder in Greenville. That's quite the cold front that has made its way through, and we're going to continue to feel the chill. So kids heading out to the bus stop tomorrow morning, dropping into the lower 40s, so a jacket needed for the start of the day. We'll see sunshine. By drop-off, we're talking about upper 60s. So feeling good. Long sleeves should do, even short sleeves by the afternoon hours. But coming up, I'm talking about the rest of the week's forecast, and I'll let you know how long this fall-like weather will last.
Natalie, thanks. A live look now in Bermuda as Hurricane Fiona makes its way towards the island tonight. The storm already causing billions of dollars in damage, as well as 6 deaths. President Biden announcing today his administration will do everything it can to help Puerto Rico, which was devastated by the hurricane. The president says the federal government will reimburse Puerto Rico for 100% of costs related to cleanup for the next month. Hurricane Fiona comes almost exactly 5 years after the island was hit by Hurricane Maria.
To the people of Puerto Rico who are still hurting from Hurricane Maria 5 years later, I know that they should know that we are with you. We're not going to walk away. We mean it.
FEMA is also making crisis counselors available across Puerto Rico for both survivors and first responders.
We found who was identified as Dana Rudin, lying on her back in the bed.
The Pine County murder trial continuing. What an investigator revealed today on the stand about the final crime scene.
And caught on camera, an attack in the sky. The man arrested after attacking a flight attendant.
Ohio unemployment exceeding the national average. What local organizations are doing to get more people into the workforce.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now. White describing that scene.
We found who was identified as Dana Rudin, lying on her back in the bed, pillow covering her face, and then a pillow, as you're looking at the photograph, would be there on the right-hand side, clearly bleeding from the head area.
Tomorrow, the coroner who handled all 8 autopsies is expected to return to the stand to talk about these latest 3 victims.
Ohio unemployment rates skyrocketing. How agencies across Miami Valley are trying to bridge the gap between employers and jobs in our area.
And Mar-a-Lago documents being reviewed by both sides. The deadline's given today by the special master overseeing the case.
Alex Jones taking the stand in his defamation trial. In previous statements, he was questioned on today.
Plus, I'm tracking a chilly night across the area. How cool will it get coming up? Here's a live look from our Kettering Hill Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Ohio Department of Job and Family Services reports Ohio's unemployment rate is above the national average.
Clara Faith is live now to tell us how agencies across the Miami Valley are bridging the gap between employers and jobs. Clara.
Adam May, and according to Montgomery County Business Services, the unemployment rate is 4.3%. Now that's about 16,000 people. Officials from Montgomery County says the unemployment rate is now just beginning to level out to pre-pandemic levels.
We're leveling out a little bit. It's not in comparison to COVID time, obviously. We are definitely seeing an upswing, slow and steady growth.
According to the data map from Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, Montgomery County is in a high concern area for unemployment compared to Miami and Greene counties, which have slightly lower levels of unemployment. Leanne Scottman, owner of People First Staffing, says jobs are out there, but inflation makes it difficult.
There are lots of jobs out there. The struggle is getting people to actually want to show up to work. Is people are applying to pay rates. They're not looking at what the job requirements are.
Gottman says the job market is open, but jobs must create incentives.
Dig a little bit deeper, offer referral bonuses. You've got to stand out compared to you've got to do something different than what your neighbor is doing.
Kara Hamby of Montgomery County Business Services says more jobs are coming to the Miami Valley.
It's really exciting because our community and economic development team with the county is always working to identify new opportunities and new companies that would possibly be a good fit for our area and bring them in.
The arrival of businesses like Amazon and Sierra Nevada Corporation will increase employee opportunities in the Miami Valley area.
Montgomery County Jobs and Family Services, as well as People First Staffing, is helping employers find employees. Now, those links to their website is on this web version of the story. Reporting live in Dayton, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Well, today officially, first day of fall, in fact, officially began at 9:04 p.m., so not too long ago was the autumnal equinox, sun's rays moving directly over the equator, and what we're going to be noticing here, of course, are those shorter days until the winter solstice, and of course cooler days too, which cooler weather arrived just in time for us. Beautiful day today, a little bit of a breeze. Let's take a look at the almanac, kind of the numbers, what we saw for today. So 75 was our high, normal high 77. Now 75, that was not during the afternoon, that was actually overnight. And then we started to see that cooler air slide in. And in fact, our low temperature, which usually we ring that in at the start of the day, this is actually what we're sitting at currently, 51 degrees. So it may even drop a degree or so more as we head into the rest of this hour. So overall, much cooler air sliding in just in time for fall. Got a very cold start to the day tomorrow, at least compared to what we've been seeing. Slightly warmer, but still on the nice side for the weekend, and then staying below normal as we head really into these next 7 days with 40s and 50s across the board. It's getting chilly right now. It's 45 in Bellefontaine, 51 in Dayton, 50 in Troy, 49 in Springfield. Compared to this time yesterday, big change. We were 27 degrees cooler up in Wapakoneta compared to this time yesterday, almost 30 degrees colder in Greenville with mostly clear skies. Satellite and radar showing things quiet and calm. High pressure sliding its way in. It's going to keep the weather quiet as we head into tomorrow, but we also will start to see some clouds build in ahead of our next weather maker. So overnight, dropping into the lower 40s, potentially some upper 30s for our far northern counties, so feeling the chill, needing a coat as you head out tomorrow morning. Clouds start to build in by tomorrow afternoon, so we will start to see a little bit more cloud cover. Temperature-wise, we're going to be back into the mid to upper 60s. And by Saturday, we got a disturbance making its way in. This will bring a spotty shower or two with 50s as we start off the day on Saturday, and then making up into the 60s. I'm thinking even 70s by our Saturday afternoon and into the evening. Still tracking another chance for some showers on Sunday as well, but we get another storm system to make its way in, which will actually send in another blast of some cooler air. So we do manage to climb into the 70s this weekend, 73 Saturday, 75 on Sunday. Notice upper 60s as we start off next week. So for tonight, 42, coldest we've seen since May 8th. It's been a while. 42, it's going to be a chilly one heading into the day tomorrow. Temperatures climbing back up into the 60s.
The special master overseeing the review of items seized from Mar-a-Lago issuing new deadlines. Judge Raymond Deary gives the Justice Department and former President Trump's lawyers 4 weeks to finish their privileged material review. Classified documents are not part of that review. A complete log of disputed items are due to Deary by October 21st. The judge is also telling Trump's team to officially declare whether they accuse the FBI of planting evidence during the search, as Trump has claimed. That deadline is next Friday. Now, former President Trump did raise some eyebrows on Fox News last night when he was asked if he declassified the documents brought to Mar-a-Lago, and if so, what his process was.
Did